Bienvenidos and welcome to Inside the UPSL on TVE Max and TVEmax.com. You can also find us on Twitter at UPSL Soccer. Hello everybody, I am your host Alex Naveja, and alongside with me is Carlos Torres, along with RF Vicari. We're going to talk all about the UPSL's news and newsmakers for the next 60 minutes. We go ahead and start off with Off the Top. First, gentlemen, let's talk about that game on Saturday. It was the Logrones taking on the Cal United FC. Ended up in a grudge match, 9-1, with Cal United FC taking the win on this one. Let's go ahead and start with Art. Art, tell us about this game. This game was it was crazy to see. Just seeing Cal United just go off on Logrones. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, Cal United, awesome team. You know, they got everything set up. They got everything going their way. They got great players. They got guys who are just dangerous all over the place. And for Logrones, well, just like to say, you know, they made a long trip, you know, only to, only be defeated in such a lopsided score. I mean, they did what they could, but I mean, right now, I mean, they're a good team, but with Cal United, I mean, they're just unstoppable right now. You know, what a trip to say the Logrones coming from Denver. You know, you enjoy the road trip coming here to California. You enjoy, you know, it's California. But right. Then having to go home, what a long drive, losing 9-1. What were a couple of the keys that Cal United had, and why were they able to win that one against the Logrones, Carlos?
Well, they're a well-rounded team. You know, on and off the ball, their intensity, they're really good at keeping the ball and picking and choosing their times of when to press and when not to press. So I feel that their intensity and their decision-making was literally the key for this 9-1 score.
What are going to be the keys to the game going into this one, Art?
Well, the keys for Cal United, well, they're just going to keep on doing what they normally do. It's hard to really break down what the keys are for them. I think, you know, if you're talking about to their coaching staff, they're going to say, hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing. For Inocentes, I think the keys are they're going to have to play compact. I mean, nothing but respect for them. They're a great team. They've been doing a lot in Texas. But, of course, I'm, picking Cal United as the favorite to win this one. So they're going to have to play. So Inocentes will have to play compact. You know, they're going to have to, they're going to be hoping to burn Cal United on the counters.
So there you heard it, guys. It's going to be a great game to watch. That game is on February 9th. It's going to be at 7 o'clock. Don't want to miss out on that one. But the 2019 spring season is just around the corner. A lot of big developments coming in, a lot of news coming in, new teams, new things. What are some new things that we could be expecting? We're going to go ahead and start off with Art. Break the news.
Well, when talking about the spring, I think one of the big questions is, you're talking about Bavarian SC. People are wondering, can they repeat? And they're a dominant team. They were winners of the spring 2018 season. They won the National Amateur Cup. And there's a lot of great things about them. They got a great squad. The Andrick brothers, Braden and Logan. I mean, quality players there. I mean, they could do a lot.
We could be expecting another exciting spring season going into this one. But as far as new teams developments, what could we be expecting from that, Carlos?
Well, new teams. There's interest for the UPSL, which is the fastest growing league, as you've mentioned it before. We get new teams coming in and day out. So the competitiveness of these teams is really going to boost the UPSL to that next level. And with that implementation of the promotion relegation, I could definitely see some good things coming along for the 2019 spring season.
So there you have it, guys. 2019 spring is just around the corner, just about to get started here. That was the biggest news in the UPSL. But when we come back, Carlos is going to bring in a guest from Score Sports to talk about the exciting new partnership with the UPSL. People have been talking about the latest new developments coming in these last few weeks. But don't forget to stay up to date with the UPSL by following us in our social media platforms such as Twitter, UPSL Soccer. You don't want to miss out on that. And welcome back inside the UPSL, presented by TVE Max, as we're going to go ahead and introduce to you our man of the hour, Jose Suarez from Score Sports. But before we even talk to the man of the hour, we're going to go ahead and present to you this video. So Jose Suarez is actually the UPSL's account representative for Score Sports. Jose, pleasure to have you here. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
We're both very happy to have you, but Carlos would like to ask you a series of questions about Score Sports.
All right, Jose, let's jump right into it. You ready, my man?
Sure am.
All right. So what was the key to making this partnership between Score and the UPSL happen?
Well, we provide quality and premium uniforms with our state-of-the-art manufacturing facility and our service. We're bar none one of the best ones out there in the market.
What do you have to say about those uniforms?
You know what? I've seen a couple of the uniforms, and wow, they're great. It makes me want to just tell the coaches, hey, coach, give me a jersey. I'm about ready to play. I want to jump in, and I just want to look good, and they look pretty stylish to me, if you ask me.
Yeah, that is one of the effects that does happen with coming with a Score uniform. I will say that.
You get a lot more people, and you get a lot more attracted audience asking about, oh, look at these new jerseys. Last week I saw you with one jersey. Now this week you're with another one. So it's definitely a difference maker, and it really appeals to the audience and the people. Oh, look at these new jerseys. I want to see what's up with these new jerseys and see, like,
right,
I want to know what's the deal.
So with that being said, what do the UPSL teams benefit from this partnership between Score and the UPSL?
Well, we're pretty much able to provide each and every single team in the UPSL with a sponsorship credit. It's a 2-year agreement with us. They get $500 credit per year, $1,000 combined, and with a $1,000 minimum spend. It's pretty easy. We've already had some teams already go with that route, and we anticipate many more. And every team as well, just to intro here, a red box, we're sending out a welcome kit for every UPSL team. It's got our catalogs inside. It's got a timeline of our company when we started. We started back in 1975. And it also has a custom uniform, just to show you the quality and the construction and the craftsmanship of the uniform that we make.
Are you specializing that box for every team that you send it out to, or is it just a kit that you guys have, a general kit to show and showcase what the material is? Every
box is being specialized for each and every single team. What we're doing is we're able to insert an intro letter, and we're giving them their contacts as far as our company, who they can reach out to. Each and every single team pretty much has a inside and outside support, and they're all going to get that information with the box.
Okay, perfect. So with that being said, how can the teams process orders with you guys at Score?
They can reach out to their contacts that they're going to be getting The boxes will be going out in the next week to 2 weeks, so they should be looking out for it fairly soon. And it's got their info there. They can reach out there, or they can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, or they can send us an email at sales@scoresports.com.
That's perfect with those social media outlets. I mean, I would really recommend you stating your social media names for every Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Do you guys have specific apps that they can follow?
We have our icons, of course, and no, they can just go on the website and they can find our information there, and or search us on Google.
Watch out for him. He's going to be calling you to order a couple of uniforms.
I'm going to be calling you maybe within these next couple of days. Just say, hey, Jose, it's me, Alex, again. Do you have any jerseys lying around that, you can let me just, I can just show off or, or anything like that. But along with the jerseys, you also do soccer balls as well. And I actually saw those in action on Saturday when I was out there in Irvine for the soccer game at Cal United, and also with the Logrones. I saw the new soccer balls.
Yep.
Looks really good. Yep. Little new technology with the soccer balls, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we put a lot of hard work and effort into constructing this ball just for the UPSL, and we're very excited for it. I think it's going to be one of the best ones out there in today's in the industry.
So far, what I've seen some of the players actually pretty happy with this new ball, and it actually looks pretty stylish. It makes me want to go out and play some soccer right now, even though lights are off and all that. I want to play some soccer now, just looking at the soccer ball itself. But so far, everything looks pretty good, Jose. And just a couple of questions myself. For other people, why should people choose Score Sports?
We get that question quite a bit, and honestly, it's our manufacturing. I mean, we control our own, machines, and we're able to assemble the uniforms, make the uniform, decorate them, and get them out the door. Speed to market is the key here, and we control our own destiny.
Okay,
that's good. That's good. So, what can you say about your service to the members? How would you say your service to the UPSL members is, or what can you rate your service?
Well, we're known in the industry for having the service all across the United States, even internationally with some of the teams that we service, overseas. But we've been renowned for that, and that's what's made us here through the hard work and discipline of our company. And we're going to be spreading that as well and giving that to all the UPSL teams.
That's good. That's good. I guess that's what really makes you different from the competitors, right? Giving that customer satisfaction.
Yep. We're very passionate about soccer. We're owned by two Brazilian sisters, Jo Menzel and Rosa Crusade. And soccer's in our DNA. And whatever we can do to help it, we're here for that.
I believe you started off in 1975. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what made Score Sports start? How did it all start off? You got to take us back to the future style, and tell us what made it all happen.
We started off very small. We started here in Wilmington, California, and we started with very few employees. I would say close to 10 or 12, and through hard work and discipline and quality and our follow through to meet timelines and service the customer, that's what's made us successful, from then to now. And we're going to continue down that path for as long as we can.
And it's my understanding the deal is it's a 3-year partnership. Is that correct with the UPSL?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a long 3 years. I would say the UPSL is definitely going to enjoy this deal very much, looking at the very nice uniforms, along with the good quality uniforms, along with the ball itself. But what are some things that you're expecting from this deal as well?
We're just expecting to hopefully talk to every single team, see how we can help. We have budgets to fit, a team that's just starting up, all the way through a team that's very well established with our custom uniform program. And I think we have pretty much everything from A to Z that we can help cover for those teams.
That's good. That's really, really good. I just keep staring at that ball, and I just really want to, get your feedback on how players, coaches, managers, just the general public, react to this ball that you guys manufactured specifically for the UPSL.
I think at some point, I saw it trending on Twitter when we launched it, but I'm not sure. But this ball, the feedback so far we've gotten has been tremendous. We couldn't be happier as far as the reception, the warm reception of the ball. and we're just psyched to have it out there in every single field that all the UPSL teams play.
And of course, this will be starting off in the springs. That's correct. Every team will be playing with the new acquired balls.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be getting them in the next week or two, and we'll be shipping them out as soon as we get them in.
The spring semester, the spring season is going to be very exciting for the UPSL. Very stylish with the new jerseys along with the new balls, correct?
Definitely, it's going to be very stylish. Something to look out for the spring 2019.
Yep. Yeah, and for every team, I have a message for them. If there's anything that we can help with, give us a shout. We wanna hear from you and see how we can work together.
Well, thank you for being with us, Jose. We really appreciate your time. It was a pleasure having you here. But we're gonna go ahead and step aside. But when we come back, we're gonna have the Mike Kuju Goals of the Year. Don't want to miss out. And welcome back inside the UPSL, presented by TV Emax, as we're going to go ahead and show you the Mike Kuju Goals of the Year. And we just experienced the Goals of the Year semi-finalists. There are 4 selections, 4 very good, talented shots by 4 talented players, but there can only be 2 players that can advance moving on to this one. But we're going to go ahead and start off with Art. Which one of the 2, or the 4, I should say, were your favorites?
My favorite the one that's been my favorite for a while, Zuniga. I mean, that one that free kick from like basically near midfield, just defies logic. Unbelievable. Easy one for me to choose.
What about yourself, Carlos?
I'm going to go with my gut feeling. I'm sticking with Ceballos. Great shot, taking on 2 defenders, going away from goal, placing it at top right corner. Amazing technique.
Oh man, I really like the Zuniga shot, because I mean, Ceballos' shot is a really good one, but Zuniga, wow, just having that distance away from the goalpost, almost midfield, like you said, Art, and being able to just bend the ball inward inside of the top right corner of the goalpost. Goalie couldn't even touch the ball. It just didn't even look real.
Maybe they'll come out that movie, Bend It Like Zuniga.
Oh, you never know. Hey, that could be a new movie. UPSL may want to produce that. That may be an idea, and maybe we could come out in the movie just saying the 3 of us possibly.
It could be a definite possibility. I do not want to discard that at all. But I do definitely think that Mother Nature had a big role to play in that goal.
How would you explain that?
I mean, the wind, I guess you can see the shirts kind of moving here and there. Maybe the wind had something to do with that goal. I'm not saying it did, but it could be a definite possibility.
I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from Zuniga's shot, but...
Oh, definitely not. I don't want to take away anything from him, but I just want to go against you.
You're always going up against me, Carlos.
I have
But
to.
you know what? You're going to be happy to know that Ceballos would advance to the next round. Along with his other competitor, it was going to be Emilio Mendez advancing to the next round, to the final round. So this final round is going to be Mendez versus Ceballos. Let's break it down. Art, let's start off with you.
All right, well, I guess I'm going with Ceballos. Like the shot, just quality. I mean, it was such a tough angle. So I'm going with Ceballos. Now that I have to choose between Mendez and Ceballos.
Hey, Art, do you really think we should ask Carlos right now? Because, I mean, we both know who Carlos is going to choose. Do we really ask him?
We know. Come on, he's smiling. He's smiling.
Okay, I know Carlos wants to share with us, but Carlos, go ahead and tell us who's going to the next round.
I'm sticking with my gut, man. Ceballos, he's going to take it all. I feel it. It's a great shot. It's a great shot. Technique, hard shot, top right corner. Man, amazing.
I must be a bandwagon because I also think Ceballos would probably be going to the next round. Not to take anything away from Mendez's shot. That was an absolute rocket shot to make it in. But I think Ceballos is going to go to the next round. But I hope you gentlemen like to swing it because we're going to go to take a quick break and we're going to go to the East Coast Swing. Welcome back to Inside the UPSL, presented by TV Emax, as we go ahead and swing it here to the East Coast Swing. But to start off, we're going to go ahead and bring you to the Northeast side as a new rivalry is brewing up in New York City as the Astoria Knights FC joining the Real New York as the Queens. We could be seeing some New York competition there. Can we be expecting a new rivalry here in New York, Art?
Definitely. I mean, that's one thing with UPSL. You got teams, in many situations that, where they're not separated by a lot of distance. I mean, sometimes the distance doesn't even make that big of a, difference. But, yeah, definitely an opportunity for it. I mean, Astoria Knights, they got a good setup going on. They have academies, just for their, all the way from under 7 to the U17 level. They even have a reserve team and a women's team. You got to like what they're bringing to the table here for UPSL. And Real New York FC, I mean, they've been very well known over in the Northeast, of course, being part of the Long Island Soccer Football League. I just want to really quickly point out, they have the words soccer and football in the same league. So just wanted to, I guess maybe that's becoming a new trend. But, they played that league since 2014, and, they were the league's Division II champion back in 2015. So, yeah, plenty of opportunities for some rivalries in the Northeast.
And rivalries are always good for the league. Rivalries always make things more interesting and get everybody to be more involved, and everybody wants to be in high alert when there's rivalries going on. When they see these two teams go neck and neck, they're just like, oh, is there going to be another rivalry going to break out? Is there going to be a fight or something going to break out? Something interesting to see between those two. What about you, Carlos? Your thoughts?
Definitely, I feel that rivalries are a key point in the growth of soccer, and I feel with the Astoria Knights and Real New York, it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye out. This New York rivalry is really good when it comes down to that Northeast. These guys are really prideful. So playing in their own city, both of them are going to really take initiative and try to beat each other on and off the field.
So it's going to be really interesting to see these two ball clubs go at it as we go ahead and move north to Florida. Tons of new teams are joining and making Florida massive for the spring season coming up. And what can we be expecting that's massive, Art?
Well, just the fact that the number of teams joining Florida is just, the number keeps on increasing. And you have a lot of teams there it just, brings in so many possibilities. I mean, you're wondering will there be another realignment with the divisions? I mean, if that keeps happening, it's going to keep everyone busy. It might be, and it's going to be exciting though at the same time.
And then also to add on to your note too, it gives a lot more opportunities to many more players that can develop and just help them become better players and help them with their development in their soccer journey. So we're going to go ahead and move to the southeast side of the East as the Germantown City FC, they defeated the Miami Sun FC in an epic thriller. By epic thriller, I need you gentlemen to give me a little more detail. Is it like thriller, like Michael Jackson thriller, or was it like a thriller, like a good game to watch thriller?
Definitely a good game to watch. I mean, Germantown, I love the name of the team, Germantown City FC. They're down 1-0, scored late in the game. Their winning goal came in the 94th minute. Obviously, they did not want to go to the dreaded penalty shootout. I mean, and I remember watching the highlights of it on Mike Cujo. I mean, you could just see like the coaches and everyone just rushing the field. A great scene, and you just have to wonder, what was it that they were saying? They must, if they're called Germantown City FC, they must have been saying a lot of, wunderbar, ja, das ist gut.
Definitely.
Carlos, you have. Let me know what you think.
Miami Sun, we got to give them credit for what they did. They kept the 1-0 score for the major part of the game. But Germantown City, man, they kept it, heads up all the way to the end. Like he said, coming in with the 94th minute winner. Definitely something that the fans, the players, the coaching staff are really looking forward to going into this semifinal that they had with Inocentes. So, I mean, they really just took charge at the end of the game and brought what they had to bring.
Wow, just an interesting game going into this one and having to win it in that last minute. Wow, for Germantown to be able to win it in the last minute of the game. Just imagine the emotions feeling that, but also seeing in the Miami Suns that reaction of, wow, we only had one more minute. We could have just, why? We could have at least taken it to penalty kicks. But we're going to move on to Texas as the Inocentes FC have been waiting a long time since mid-December for their opponent. Now they're going to be playing against Cal United FC. We can be expecting a great soccer game out of this, Hart.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Inocentes, they made it to the quarterfinals of the Nationals for spring 2018. I mean, they have a great team, a lot of support from their fans, and I'm expecting them to come out with a good contingent of fans when they play against Cal United.
I think the same thing. I'm really thinking that the Inocentes crowd really travels and they have really good caravans and really travel well with their teams to be able to cheer on their Inocentes teams, and they're rooting for them every step of the way, and they've made it this far to play against a Cal United team. I think Cal United is going to compete as far as their crowd-wise. I think there's going to be more Inocente fans coming out of state and coming in. What do you say, Carlos?
Well, definitely. Let's give all the credit to Inocentes. Back-to-back conference champions. They are coming into this final with the same base they had going into last year's Nationals in 2018 spring. So definitely something to look out for. They have maintained a project with their base, and I feel that the new players that they've brought in are definitely to reinforce that project that they really want to maintain.
So I hope you guys enjoy swinging with us here in the East Coast Swing. Now we're going to go ahead and head back to home base, where we're going to go ahead and take it to the West Coast. What's up? We're going to go ahead and step aside here in the inside the UPSL. welcome back to Inside the UPSL, presented by TVE Max. As we made our way to the East Coast swing, now we're going back to the West Coast. As we say, West Coast, what's up? Before we start off, we're going to go ahead and talk about Colorado. Is this going to be the end of the road for this conference after the loss from Logrones?
There's many teams in Colorado that, would like to be a part of such a great organization as the UPSL is. Let's give all the credit to Logrones. They made it really far in the national tournament, and just credit to them. They really came out and left it all on the pitch despite the score.
But we're going to go ahead and move to the mountains. Do you think Boise FC Cutthroats, do you think it could be a natural player?
Well, yeah, when it comes to Boise, Tyson Fox, great player. We've seen a lot from him. And, yeah, they definitely have a chance, to do some great things.
They have one player that can be their role model, and they can be their star player, and that could be a player that they can learn from, and they can branch off from that and spread his knowledge along the field with all of his other teammates. But we're going to move to NorCal, as Jaza Redwood City has a 2018 to remember. I would also agree with that, especially after that stunner against Cal United, just making it a 1-0 ball game. What a great game that was before Jaza wasn't able to win that one against Cal United, which is what brought Cal United to the game against Logrones. But not to take anything away from Jaza, what did you guys think about their 2018 season?
Well, it's a great season. They ended the season with an unfortunate loss to Cal United. They gave it their all. Like you said, they weren't able to maintain that score throughout the full 90 minutes, but they came out and just left it all on the pitch. They worked hard every minute, but unfortunately Cal United came out on top.
And of course, Cal United, you're not used to seeing a 0-0 ball game throughout the whole entire thing. When you think Cal United, you think of the team that strikes early and just strikes real fast and always pinpoints the weaknesses of other clubs and really takes advantage of that and drives it home there. But what about yourself, Art? I know you have a lot to say about Jaza. Share with us.
A lot of it's been said. They've lost only lost 1-0 to Cal United. They put in a great performance. Yes, definitely a lot to remember. They even had a good run into U.S. Open Cup qualifying. They lost 3-2 to IPS Marathon Taverna. That was just on the 18th of November, and they were losing 3-0. They lost 3-2, but they were losing 3-0. They had to start chipping away late. You kind of look back at that and wonder, did they join that party a little late? How much more different could it have been? Maybe if they would have found some goals earlier. But, we always know there's the shouldas, wouldas, and couldas and the whole hindsight thing. But either way, they have plenty to be proud of.
Unfortunately, those shoulda, coulda, woulda don't count in life in general. But we're going to go ahead and move back here to the headquarters here in SoCal. The game that everybody has been talking about, I would say one of the bigger stories, was the Cal United FC and the Cal FC game that was just absolutely tremendous. The game that Omar was talking about a little while ago, how we had the opportunity to cover that game. But what a game. You think about that, it's legendary. You think about a soccer game being an epic soccer game, rain, stormy, and these two talented ball clubs in SoCal dueling and going back and forth, being neck to neck, and then for Cal FC to win it. Like, what a story, I would say. But that's amazing, I'd say.
Well, from the standpoint of Cal United, extremely disappointing. And I remember doing the call when they played that game the first time. That was the night the lights went out in Thousand Oaks. And it was 2-2, ready to go to stoppage, ready to go to extra time. I was excited to see how that one would end. But, I guess I could say, with Cal FC winning on penalties, the way I looked at it, I felt like Cal United is the better team. But Cal FC found the way to win. So, yeah, amazing rainy game. I wonder what's going to, what kind of weather there'll be next time they play each other, when they cross paths.
I would hope that it would be, again, your typical night, no rain or anything. But, you gentlemen have to admit, the rain added a little extra to it. It was like watching a movie, I would say. You're watching a soccer movie. two talented ball clubs going at it neck and neck, and for the rain to just be there, I think that's like a soccer movie. What about you, Carlos?
Definitely. It was something great to, you know, I didn't have the ability to be there, but I did catch those live coverages from Omar, and it's definitely gets you, you know, at the edge of your seat, especially knowing that these two SoCal Giants are going head to head on rainy weather, something that you can see in England, you know, that wet pitch. So definitely was a great game. Cal FC, kudos to them. They came off with the win, and let's see where they head next.
We're gonna be very curious to see where they end up next, as we'll be right back after we've said what's up to the West Coast. But when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and say what's up to Omar Avalos when we come back after this. And welcome back inside the UPSL, presented by TV Emax. And we're going to go ahead and bring you our new guest. It is Omar Avalos, who is actually reporting on the Cal FC against the Cal United game. Omar, pleasure to have you here. Thanks for stopping by.
Likewise. Thanks. It's good to be here.
So Omar, what was it like being able to cover this game, and just what a game? Take us behind the coverage and the reporting.
Well, it was quite a grind for both sides. I think it was an epic effort, or a brave effort on both sides. In terms of the weather, well, it was freezing and it was very wet, so I think conditions also had something to do with the outcome of the game. Not to take anything away from Cal FC, because they were resolute, resilient on defense. They defended as a unit, and then again, their goalkeeper, he saved the night, I think, for them. He had upwards of 5 or 6 shots before the penalties that he stopped. So overall, it was a great defensive effort by Cal FC, given that Cal United was such an offensive team and has been throughout the whole season. They created a ton of opportunities. They hit the crossbar, and they missed 2 PKs as well. So that could have been a very different story and a much different scoreline. It could have gone in Cal United's favor as well, I think.
You were mentioning the weather playing a factor. You said it was raining, but I don't think it was the rain that was extinguishing the fire that was Cal United. I think it really was the defense of Cal FC. Two great SoCal soccer teams going at it, and the outcome of it being 0-1. Cal FC coming up with the win on that one. And what a good game. How would you describe the Cal United offense on that night?
They generated a ton of opportunities again. They settled in and took possession and controlled the game. And towards the end, they had the momentum. The rain stopped, and I think maybe that was helping a bit. I go back to the weather, but again, not to take anything away from Cal FC, of course. But when Cal United settles in and they just do what they want, right, with knocking the ball around and generating attacks, they were just faced with one of the toughest defenses in the UPSL. Cal FC was a tough defensive team throughout the season as well.
And it gets a little tough having the strongest offensive team against one of the toughest defensive teams.
Right.
And the same saying goes throughout sports: the best defense will win you games, which means it'll create the best offense in that scenario. So I think that's why Cal FC got the better end on that one. But going into this game, when you saw you were going to go for this game, Cal FC versus Cal United, What were your expectations going into this?
Well, I thought it would be a toss-up, given how in the prior game that was canceled, we had a 2-2 game, and Cal FC jumped on top of that 2-0, which was a stunner, I thought, you know. But you saw Cal United again bring on that kind of vocation, where their comfort on possession, to gradually take control of the game, which is a testament to what they're able to do. So going into it, I thought it would have been, I thought it was a toss-up, and it ended up being an epic grind going into overtime and penalty kicks. I think it was a fitting end to such a hard-fought game over 2 games, you know.
And what was your approach going into this game? You're gonna be the reporter for this game. You're gonna go cover this game.
Mm-hmm.
What was your approach going into this? Did you have a game plan? What was it?
Well, I was interested in the tactics, in the formation that might have been applied or was applied. I think you see Cal FC with the 3-4-3, would look like a 3-4-3, you know, strikers out wide, and then, but very compact as a unit when it comes to defense and chomping down on defense, because they stopped a bunch of shots as a defensive unit. And when they were broken, or when Cal FC got past that defensive line, it was their keeper who stopped them. So I was interested in the tactics, and you know, being out there, just tweeting about it was kind of improvised. You know, it was very wet, and I didn't want to get phone damage. You know, so
Of course.
but you know, just got through it. You know, there was no coverage, and that was the only voice out there getting the information out in real time. So I felt like it was kind of a duty to do it. You know.
Did you feel any sort of urgency on any of the teams, on Cal FC or Cal United, when you were out there? Did you feel that any of these teams felt like they had to win when they're out there?
Definitely. You could definitely see the grind. Yeah, each one was grinding. Cal United, when they had the ball and momentum, towards the end, they were on top, you know, again, creating a bunch of opportunities, missing the post by inches, hitting the crossbar, missing one penalty kick, and making another, missing some in PKs. And you had Cal FC, who also missed a penalty kick, which would have been a decisive goal. It would have ended it in the 120 minutes. So it was almost unbelievable, almost like a story scripted, like a movie script, you know, the way it played out.
Well, it seemed like it was a very dramatic movie, I would say, and definitely if you're a soccer lover, a very good game to have experienced. Just two ball clubs going at it back and forth, just firing and just staying 0-0, going up to 120th minute, still remaining 0-0, going into PKs, goes 6-7, and then it would be Cal FC winning that one. But just want to say thank you so much for stopping by with us, Omar. And we really appreciate sharing your knowledge here with us and for everyone watching here. But we're gonna go ahead and step aside, as we're gonna go ahead and bring back Carlos and Art for their final thoughts before we close it down. So we'll be right back. And welcome back to Inside the UPSL, presented by TV Max. Don't forget to follow us on any of our social media platforms. That is UPSL Soccer on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. As we have introduced to you our final thoughts of the segment, we're going to talk about the upcoming game, the Inocentes versus Cal United FC. Quick thoughts, Art.
I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think it'll be entertaining, and I'm, you know, looking forward to seeing that. I think there'll be a good turnout as well.
Carlos, you had a lot of thoughts on this one coming in.
Definitely. I mean, it's going to be a grudge match. It's going to be one for the fans. You know, it's going to be exciting, back and forth. It's going to be a high-intensity, high-paced game. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out.
I definitely think this is going to be a game that the crowd is going to get their money's worth, and this will be a very exciting game to take in. Don't sleep on any of these ball clubs, especially if you're Cal United. Don't want to sleep on the Inocentes, and if you're the Inocentes, you don't want to sleep on Cal United. But of course, you don't want to underestimate any of the teams there. Both teams have very, very good capabilities of that one. But that's going to do it for us here inside the UPSL. We will see you guys next Thursday. I'm Alex Naveja. With me was Carlos and Art. Have a good night, folks.